What's up, YouTube? This is Bar911970. Thank you, as always, for watching my channel, and I hope you guys are enjoying your day. All right, guys. I've been watching a couple of things on, like, the videos from, like, a CNN post from people talking to Congress. I've been watching the recent Jesse Ventura new channel that he's done, that is Off the Grid, and I've seen this countless amount of times at this point. And this is why, if you notice with my videos, there's a theme, especially recently. And the theme has to do with legal definitions. And if people do not learn that there is a difference between the regular English language that we all know, or mostly know, and the same exact terms legally defined, until they realize that some words are totally different legally than they are in the regular U.S. language or English language. Could be just the U.S. I don't know how it works throughout the rest of the world. But at least here, if they don't understand the difference, this is how they either, one, get in trouble, two, entrap themselves, or three, not realize what they say. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. And there was this woman, somebody posted a video about a woman who was being constantly harassed and audited by the government the day pretty much after she tried to do a not-for-profit helping of the Republican Party. She said she had a business for over a decade. She never got audited, never got anything from the government. And then basically right after she volunteered to help the Republican Party in Texas, she was constantly harassed from there out. And she keeps using the word, when she talked in front of Congress, she kept saying citizen, kept saying, I'm an American citizen. And I hear people, like even Governor Ventura. And like I said, I am very much into truth here, so I'm going to call anybody out, and I'm not calling him out saying he's wrong, but he may not know this. So there's only one of two things. Either he doesn't know, or he does know and he's not saying anything. I don't know. I give people the benefit of the doubt until they prove themselves in one way or the other. But the fact remains, he will talk about citizens. He will talk about, well, our government is not following our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. Well, if people actually would look up, and this is what I tell people, this is why I say this so much. I want it to be drilled in your head so much that you finally say, you know what, I'm just going to look this up because I'm tired of hearing them say it. And if that happens, then there's a method to my madness. But in the Act of 1871, they took the original document. Basically, I don't know if they ripped it to shreds or just put it to the side. I don't know. I wasn't there. I wasn't born in the 1800s. But they created a new document, formed a new country called the United States that's located in Washington, D.C. And then after that, they started creating, well, actually a little bit before they actually did that, they set up the terminology to entrap people into that 20 square mile radius without having to live there. And that is through legal definitions. That is through the term person. That is the citizen definition. When you and I talk on the street, and you say, oh, look at that person over there, you're not saying, look at that corporation. You're using the regular English language. You're saying, look at that person, look at that individual. But if you use the word person in the court, it does not mean what you assume it does. If you say to somebody on the street, I'm proud to be an American citizen, on the street, that just means you're referring to yourself as a person that was born or naturalized in this country, in America. Legally, when you say, I am a U.S. citizen, you are saying you're not an American, that you are part of a corporation known as the United States, located in the District of Columbia. So I want people to start comprehending the fact that definitions on the streets mean nothing. So of course it's going to sound silly. But when you go to court, or you get a summons, or you have some kind of government problems, and you have to go to court, or maybe one day you end up talking in front of Congress, or have to talk in front of a judge. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. And I challenge anybody that thinks this is silly, because trust me, 5 years ago, before I knew any of this stuff, I would have thought this was silly too. But then I researched. Then I looked it up. Then I discovered the legal definitions in legal documents. I've looked up the DC codes, and I've placed them on several videos where all you have to do is just look them up. So my challenge for the people who don't believe in this stuff because it sounds silly, instead of the insults, instead of the name calling, instead of the nah, 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 I don't want to hear it, nah, 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 I don't see it, prove me wrong. Show me evidence. Saying you're a fool, you're an idiot, this is ridiculous, I don't believe it, is not counteracting what I'm saying. You're not contradicting me. You're not giving me alternative ways and saying, this is wrong and this is why. The problem is they can't do that. So the only thing they have, the only tool they have, is to say, oh, you're a fool, you're stupid, which is great if you're having a debate on a fourth grade level. But even as I see with government people, like I've listened to people like Ted Cruz, I've listened to people like Jesse Ventura. I actually made a video about him the other day, and I've actually emailed him several times with no response. I've posted several times on his channel and emailed him about the Act of 1871, and so far it's gone unnoticed. So to me, sometimes you have to communicate with people to find if they are really on your side. So I know some people say, oh, he may be a shill. I'm not going to assume anything just because somebody said it. I'm going to give the proof. I'm giving a person an opportunity. So Mr. Ventura, if you are watching this video, and the fact that you are following my channel means you might or have some people watch it for you, I am asking you to look up the Act of 1871, to research the legal definitions that I have in the videos that I've sent you, to verify the DC codes that I point out, and talk about it. If you don't talk about it, then I have proof to a certain extent, because obviously you have a lot of things you have to verify. But if you're talking about the government, this is the most important thing, because when you talk about the Constitution, when you talk about the Bill of Rights, when you talk about the United States, you're not talking about a country, not the way you thought it was. So either you don't know about it, and I will be proud to be the one or one of many to show you where the error is, or you are not going to make that public for whatever reason. And that will show proof. Now, obviously, in a day or two, that doesn't prove anything. But if I continually, and other of my subscribers, because this is what I want, my subscribers that care, I want you to take either my 49-minute video or the newer one that I made, the hour-and-a-half video. Keep sending it to Jesse Ventura Off the Grid. Keep sending the link. Keep showing this is the most important thing that he needs to talk about. Because at the very least, if it's wrong, he would have the ability to prove it wrong. So wouldn't that actually be something even the trolls would want? So Jesse Ventura actually researched this and said, you know what? This stuff is full of garbage. And here's why. Because I don't think Jesse Ventura would get that information and just say, oh, you're an idiot. Oh, you're stupid. No. He's going to research it, and he's either going to say, this is right, or this is wrong, or this part needs to be changed. And those are the people I'd rather trust. So I know people say, oh, you shouldn't listen to certain people. I'm a firm believer in even something Chris Duane once said. Listen to all and follow none. And I am very much an independent person who can think on his own. That is why when I first started all this stuff, I used to watch Max Kaiser. I used to watch Alex Jones. I used to listen to Lindsey Williams. I used to watch Adam vs. the Man. I used to follow Chris Duane. Well, you know what? I don't watch or follow any of them anymore. Because over time, you get the figure that actions speak louder than words. So as much as I'm happy that Jesse the Ventura, Body Ventura, Governor Ventura, is following my channel, if I'm sending them very important information that could be easily verified and proven with the definitions and the DC codes that I provide, if it goes ignored for too long, then that pretty much proves there is an agenda behind what he does. If he decides to at least acknowledge it and talk about it, then that shows he's somebody that's worthy of trust. But I want to give the benefit of the doubt. I don't want to assume one way or another. I did that for the longest time on my old channel, and rightfully so. I got hammered for it to the point where I got so emotional that I shut my channel down. I mean, it also helped that my wife left me at the time and my father died, and I was going through all that emotional stuff. But I take full responsibility for my part. I didn't know then what I know now. I trusted too many people without verification, and I paid the ultimate price for that. Lesson learned. Now, I research things. Now I verify things. And every now and then I'll make a mistake. And sometimes it's nice that I have some of my subscribers point that out, which is actually true. Like, for example, the whole that technique guy. Somebody sent me an email saying, oh, I proved who it was. And because I thought that was a caring person, even though I didn't know who it was, I actually mentioned that's who that troll was. Come to find out that it wasn't true. And it's my own fault because I didn't research it. I didn't practice what I preached. And that person ultimately emailed me a couple hours later saying, oh, they work for Alex Jones and they're trying to help me, but they can't give the information. So I said, if you're working for Alex Jones, prove it to me. Have Alex Jones call me or verify all this stuff. Never heard from the person again. And I ended up ultimately finding out who really the person is. I just don't care. I got the full information. So sometimes we're human and we make mistakes. But right now, I want my subscribers to take the ones that care, the ones that want to make a difference, and even if it's a little part of sharing my video, or even if it's somebody else's that's more important or better. If you find another video that talks about the Act of 1871, and there are people mega smarter than I'll ever be on my best day, if you know another video that's even better, send that, because it's not about me. It's about the information. And if he supposedly has this off-the-grid channel where he's talking about truth, and he's talking about government, and this information, the Act of 1871, where the 42nd Congress basically became traitors to our nation and created a new government so the government wouldn't go bankrupt because of the Civil War, and sold us all out, creating a corporation called the United States, and there is a second constitution. Well, you can't just sit there and ask for your constitutional rights. Be careful what you wish for, you might get it. That's like for a person begging to be a slave. That sounds ridiculous because you know what the term slave means. If you think it sounds silly to not say you're a U.S. citizen, that to me suggests you have not verified and looked up what the legal definition of citizen means. And when it comes to court, when it comes to prison, when it comes to Congress, when it comes to government, they are not going to take the regular common English language. They are going to use the legal definitions. Because if they didn't, there would be no need to have them. So to my subscribers, I will even post the links of my 2 videos. Copy and paste it. Send the information to Jesse Ventura on his Off the Grid channel. Tell him how important this is. And let's see. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If within 6 months from now, he hasn't bothered to acknowledge it or even respond to it, then we know this is a person that can't be trusted. But if this person at least acknowledges it, says he's going to research it, and actually talks about it, even if he doesn't agree, it still shows that there is integrity. You've got to give the benefit of the doubt. And sometimes you got to expose people for who they are. Thanks for watching. Peace.